Today I'm going to take popular characters, scenes, and locations from The Incredibles and recreate them in LEGO. Let's go. Before we start building anything, we need minifigures. So my first option was to use the official LEGO ones. Here's Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, Dash, Violet, Jack, Frozone, and Syndrome. All of these minifigures are super detailed, but there's a problem. Even with all of these, there's still not all of them from the movie. So I started digging through my parts to make some more characters. Here's Incredibile, with these 1x studs for his rocket boots, the old versions of Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl, Bomb Voyage with a bomb, Edna Mode, Mirage, Gilbert, Rick Dickerson, and Bernie. You know that one crazy teacher?
This little rat is guilty!
Tony, Violet's crush, and 2 of these soldiers that work for Syndrome, which we'll get back to later. After all that, it looks like we finally have a solid lineup. Seriously, that's a lot of people. Let's start right at the beginning of the movie with Mr. Incredible's car. LEGO made a baby version of it, but that just was not going to cut it.
Bruh.
So I built a much bigger and more accurate version, recreating all the details from the movie into LEGO. I added details like the design on the front, some boosters, and even some windows on the sides. The interior has seats, a steering wheel, and of course, let's throw in Mr. Incredible and Incrediboy, also known as Syndrome. Now this thing needs somewhere to drive, so I built a section of the city road with sidewalks, street lights, and some buildings around it. Next is their family house, which does get absolutely destroyed by the end of the movie. I started with the garage so I could park both the Incredible car and family car inside, kind of. I used this car for my Plants vs Zombies video for Bob's car. Then I built the dining room where they eat dinner. I made sure to throw in some cabinets and these photos on the sides. I actually took this family photo from one of the LEGO sets and placed it on the wall. Then the living room next to it, I built the TV using black and these rare blue tiles. I also made a couch, rug, and actually made a small coffee table using these Harry Potter wands as the legs of the table. These 2 rooms are where most of the family scenes happen, so it's cool to see these made in LEGO. For the last room on the side of the house, I'm gonna add Bob's office. For his room, I made his case for his original suit, his desk and poster board full of news and stuff, and much more details around the room, like this Tommy gun on the wall. Lastly, I added the roof using black bricks. For finishing touches, I built these small trees and added some plants on the front lawn. From the outside, the house looks awesome and looks very similar to the movie, which makes it even funnier knowing it doesn't stay like that for long. Next up is one of the coolest scenes in the Glory Days section of the movie, the train scene. I built a large bridge using a ton of gray bricks and built supports to hold it up. I found these interesting train tracks that use magnetic powers to move a train back and forth, which is exactly what we needed. The train itself is fully brick built with 2 sections. This front part took way too long to make and this second part just controls the movement. So let's recreate the scene in LEGO. This took way longer than I expected, but it was 100% worth it because this scene looks insane in LEGO. After that train incident, we go 15 years later in the future where Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible get married and have kids. But at this point, Mr. Incredible is tired of his new life and wants to become a superhero again. Coincidentally, Mr. Incredible receives a package and gets the opportunity to become a superhero again. The next scene I'm going to build is where Mr. Incredible encounters his first Omni Droid. So I started by building this lava base using orange pieces as lava. I put some dark plates together to make it look like flowing magma. I then threw in some of these transparent pieces to make it more detailed. On top of that, I built the Omni Droid piece by piece, starting with the body using these large bases with snot pieces to connect these panels with the legs. I attached the claws, and finally, the head. I used a lot of crazy techniques to put this together. From that last fight, Mr. Incredible needs a new suit, so now it's time for Edna Mode. I want to build the room where they test the superhero suits, but I want this to actually be functionable. So I started off the room with a base plate. I made sure to build over this long L-shaped contraption so I could hide all this. I built up the walls in the suit testing room and control room. I also built this glass wall so nothing bad happens in the control room if something goes wrong. In the control room, I built these suits directly built into the walls. I added this desk and a whole section of computers on the other side of the wall. But now it's time for the mechanism. I had this bar piece with a superhero suit connected to it in the testing room. After I added this level with chairs and a table, now we could slide this piece back and forth, so the suit and section piece go at the same time, basically seen in the movie. Can't forget to add Edna though, which finishes the room.
Yet here we are.
I only need a patch job.
Comments: if you were a superhero, would you wear a cape? Mr. Incredible comes back with a new suit and finds out Incredibile is Syndrome. So let's build Syndrome's island called No Man's Island. No Mansian Island? I'm not sure. This island is massive and filled with a ton of details, so I grabbed this huge base plate with a whole island surface on top. The biggest thing on the island has to be the volcano, so I use these rock-shaped pieces to build up the volcano. I then dropped some transparent orange pieces for the lava. This is the same place where Mr. Incredible went against the first Omni Droid.
Huh?
Sitting near the volcano is the main base, complete with a giant satellite dish on top. Doesn't really look like the base in the movie, but it's close enough, I guess. I'm running out of great pieces from the Clash Royale build. Around the island, I added tons of nature to balance it out, with palm trees using these cool leaf pieces, bushes, and greenery everywhere so it feels like the tropical forest it has on the island. And because this place wouldn't feel complete without something a little crazier, I also added a UFO style ship that Dash tried running away from in that one scene. I really like how this one turned out. Altogether, the volcano, the base, the palm trees, nature, and the UFO come together to make this island feel like the main island from the movie. At the end, obviously Syndrome loses and the Incredibles win. I was planning on doing this whole final battle scene, but I found out I wasn't recording the entire time. Well anyways, that's the Incredibles in LEGO. I do have the Underminer and Screenslaver minifigures from the LEGO sets, so if this video hits 3,000 likes, I'll recreate the Incredibles 2 movie entirely in LEGO. Thanks for watching and make sure you subscribe, it's free and helps out a ton.